We visited Saguaro National Park near Tucson, Arizona in the spring of 2014. There are two parts of it. If you would like to get notices when I post again, be sure to subscribe right here. Just click on that button. This is the 92,000 acres that this park covers. It's in two parts on each side of Tucson. We'll visit the East Rincon Mountain District first, and then the next day we'll go to the West Tucson Mountain District. It was established on October the 14th, 1994, and has a little over 1 million visitors each year. We'll next be visiting Saguaro National Park. It's actually two different national parks located on each side of Tucson. We'll be visiting the one to the east called Rincon Mountain. We'll visit the visitor center and then drive around the loop, but although this is a very big park, most of it you can only hike in, and we don't go hiking. First off, we'll stop at the Visitor Center to learn about saguaro cactus and how they grow and develop a community around them. They bloom in the spring. April and May. We're there and they are starting to bloom at this time. The flowers are actually pollinated by bats and birds and not by bees. Fruit ripens in June and drops its seeds, sometimes as many as 40 million seeds. Here you see a few 100,000. They grow very slowly. At 3 months, they're just like a little leaf laying on the ground. At 3 years, they're maybe just barely looking like a cactus. 5 years, they get up this big. And in 10 years, they're almost an inch tall. These are some baby cactus growing under what's called a nurse tree. Here you can see 1 inch tall, 10 years, 1 foot, 31 years, 3 feet, 50 years, and flowers at 69 years. At 100 years, it gets its first branch, and at 200 years, it's still alive. Here's one of the older ones, maybe 300 years or more. And after a while, it starts to deteriorate and eventually turns into a bunch of sticks. Here's some young ones, about 50 years old or so, since they're not flowering. As you can see, they have ridges in them so they can swell with water when it's rainy season. The branches form just like branches on a tree, and actually it has a woody core made up of rods. A great community grows up around it, above and underground. And as you can see, they drill holes into it in order to live in them. Many different animals live inside them. The Gila woodpecker is one of those who actually cuts the holes, and also the gilded flicker. But other animals live in their holes, and many different types of birds, and here's an elf owl in one. As they start to deteriorate in old age, the soft tissue falls off, leaving the woody skeleton of sticks, which will eventually collapse and fall to the ground. Now time to head out and explore the park. We'll be visiting this area first as we drive along the loop road. To a large extent, it'll be almost the same vegetation all the way around the loop, just a few different views that we'll be seeing. Everglades. Here we can see a skeleton of one of the saguaros as it's almost lost all its soft tissue. Now we'll turn off the paved road and head up this way to see what the dirt road will hold for us. After we get back on the paved road, we'll go to the Desert Ecology Trail, and I'll walk it while Deborah rests. I'll see mourning doves and also various types of lizards. Next, we'll explore the back half of the Cactus Forest Loop. This brings us closer to the mountains and hills.
Well, then you have to go. Period.
The sun is starting to go down, and there's some beautiful pictures with the low yellow light. time now to get out of the car and walk up Signal Hill Trail, which is about a half a mile long. But as you go along, you kind of got to be careful. There's snakes and scorpions, Gila monsters. Be careful where you step and where you put your hands. It's a beautiful area we'll be walking through, and going up the hill is fairly steep. But we're going up it because the Hohokam petroglyphs that are here made about 450 AD by pounding one rock against another. They'll be on the rocks as we go up. You can see one here, a kind of circular wheel. Here's a spiral, and here's some other types of figures. Here we can see various other figures, a spiral and goats. Some interpret this as almost a moose with the big horns. Others see here a goat and bats, and a lizard up at the right, or maybe a man. From the top of the hill, you can see the various hills and areas around. On the way down, there's a spotted whiptail lizard running among the rocks. And then as it continues to get darker, it's time to finish the last part of the route and head back to Tucson for the night. Note the two dust devils down in the valley. As mentioned earlier, we saw the Saguaro National Park Eastern Division yesterday, and now we're going to move to the Western Division, the Tucson Mountain Division. It is, again, a rather large park, but very little of it is accessible by vehicle, so we'll be just looking at this scenic Bajada Loop Trail. Let's take a look around. First, we'll be looking in this area. Next, we'll look at the riparian overlook. This again is one of those beautiful areas with many different types of cactuses and landscapes.